Commander Elena Vasquez stood before the massive quantum transmitter, its crystalline core pulsing with the last reserves of Earth's dying energy grid. Outside the reinforced walls of the Luna-based communications center, the remnants of humanity's final fleet engaged in their desperate last stand against the Dominion Armada. The war that had raged for 3 decades was finally reaching its inevitable conclusion. "Commander, the transmission array is ready," reported Lieutenant Marcus Webb, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. "We have approximately 4 minutes before the Dominion's siege cannons breach our shields." Elena nodded, her weathered face illuminated by the ethereal blue glow of the transmitter. She had volunteered for this final mission, to send humanity's last communication across the galaxy before their civilization joined the countless others the Dominion had exterminated in their relentless expansion. The message had been crafted carefully by Earth's greatest minds, philosophers, and historians during the final months of the siege. It wasn't a plea for mercy or a cry for help that would never come. It was something far more dangerous to the Dominion's carefully constructed narrative of righteous conquest. "Begin recording," Elena commanded. The quantum transmitter hummed to life, its energy signature designed to bypass all known forms of interference and reach every inhabited system within 1,000 light-years. The Dominion had made one critical error in their systematic destruction of civilizations. They had left survivors scattered across the galaxy, refugees who still remembered their home worlds and the lies they had been told about humanity's supposed aggression. "To all sentient beings receiving this transmission," Elena began, her voice carrying the weight of her dying species. "This is Commander Elena Vasquez of the Terran Defense Force. In approximately 3 minutes, the Dominion will complete their extermination of humanity. But before we fall silent forever, we leave you this truth." She paused as another explosion rocked the base, causing dust to rain from the ceiling. The Dominion's siege cannons were getting closer. 47 years ago, humanity made first contact with the Galactic Dominion. We offered trade, knowledge, and friendship. We shared our art, our music, our dreams of peaceful coexistence among the stars. The Dominion's response was to demand our complete submission and the surrender of our homeworld's resources. Lieutenant Webb monitored the transmission strength, ensuring their final words would reach across the void. 2 minutes, Commander." "We refused," Elena continued, her voice growing stronger. "Not out of arrogance or aggression, but because we had learned from our own history that those who surrender their freedom for promises of security receive neither. The Dominion called us a threat to galactic peace. They painted us as warmongers and expansionist aggressors to justify what came next." The base shuddered violently as the outer defenses finally collapsed. Emergency lighting bathed the communication center in crimson, but Elena pressed on. "For 3 decades we fought not to conquer, but to survive. We never sought to rule other worlds or impose our will upon other species. We fought because the alternative was extinction, the same extinction the Dominion has brought to the Altarians, the Cathani, the Vorthan Collective, and dozens of other civilizations whose only crime was refusing to kneel." Alarms began blaring as Dominion forces breached the inner perimeter. Webb's fingers flew across his console, boosting the transmission's power with the base's remaining energy reserves. To those who still remember freedom, Elena's final words rang out across the galaxy. "Know this. When the Dominion comes to your worlds with promises of peace and prosperity, remember what happened to Earth. Remember that some chose to fight rather than submit. Remember that you always have a choice." The transmission ended just as the blast doors exploded inward. Elena Vasquez faced her executioners with her head held high, knowing that her final message was already racing across the stars at the speed of light. A spark that might one day ignite the fires of rebellion in hearts that had not yet learned to surrender. In the silence that followed, the Dominion had won another world, but lost something far more valuable: their monopoly on the truth.